Okay, today we are going to discuss some simple concepts about plagiarism because throughout the school year we will conduct several research projects, and I want you to conduct your research in an ethical manner. As you're watching the slideshow, I just need to remind you to take a few notes. Don't copy everything down word for word. Just take some notes so that you can take the quiz at the end. When you're thinking about plagiarism, the first concept is easy. Just remember, stop. Don't do it. So what is plagiarism? Below you will see a list of some examples. Plagiarism is copying someone else's work, copying and pasting, no permission to use work, improperly giving credit, or making someone else's work your own. What is the definition of plagiarize? According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, plagiarize means to steal and pass off the ideas or words of others as one's own, use another's production without crediting the source, to commit literary theft, present as new and original an idea or product derived from an existing source. What does the handbook say about plagiarism? It's a Category 1 offense, which is considered academic dishonesty, cheating on a test, or copying the work of another. What is the consequence? First of all, your teacher can give you a grade of 0. The school could consider the following: parent-teacher conference, ISS, D-Hall, or suspension. What types of plagiarism exist? The first example is intentional plagiarism, and that is knowingly doing the following with the words, ideas, or creations of others without giving proper credit. Copying word for word, copying and pasting, summarizing, paraphrasing, rewording. Now I want you to get something really clear here. These things are okay in research if and only if you give proper credit. This is a real-world example of pretty harsh consequence for plagiarism. Little Rock Schools, Dexter Suggs no longer has doctorate. Don Sproul, Chief Academic Officer at Indiana Wesleyan University, says Dexter Suggs, the former Little Rock School Superintendent, no longer holds a doctorate in education from the university. This is most likely a result of allegations that he plagiarized his doctoral dissertation, though the university doesn't confirm that. As recently as July 29th, Sproul had said Suggs held a Master of Education, a Doctorate of Education, and an Education Specialist degree. Today, he said Suggs held only the Master's and the Specialist certificate. So this is gone. He did not elaborate about the change in circumstance. He had said previously that federal rules to protect confidentiality of students prohibited him from saying anything beyond what degrees Suggs held at the university. Sproul's statement today. Sproul said the school wasn't revealing the date of the change in status. The state said it learned of it today. Since Suggs no longer holds a degree, he's entitled to no more payments under a $250,000 severance package given when he left the school district in April. That's a pretty harsh consequence for plagiarism. Is it plagiarism even if I don't realize it? Absolutely yes. The other example of plagiarism is unintentional plagiarism. unknowingly doing the following with the words, ideas, or creations of others and not giving proper credit, copying word for word, copying and pasting, summarizing, paraphrasing, or rewording. The important key to remember here is always do your research carefully and give proper credit. What it boils down to is not the consequence of school, the consequence of money. It simply boils down to you. You are cheating. You are stealing. You are compromising your reputation. You are being dishonest. You are lying to others. You are cheating yourself out of individual expression and display of your own abilities and talents, and you are eliminating yourself from great opportunities like college, scholarships, and great jobs. How can my teachers help me to remember not to plagiarize? These are just some examples of web tools which we have, which help us check to make sure that you've done your research correctly and given credit in the proper way. What are some things I should do to avoid plagiarism? When you're doing your research, you should remember to always take notes when completing a research project. Write down everything that your teacher and audience will need to know in order to find your source again. Use quotation marks if you are writing word for word. Set off longer amounts of key text in indentations from your text. How can I include information into my own writing? Well, first of all, you can quote. Use quotation marks around the words of others. You shouldn't need to quote an entire paragraph. Quotes are generally only 1 or 2 sentences. Paraphrase. If you feel compelled to cut and paste or copy word for word, don't. Paraphrase in your own words, but still cite your source. Summarize. Read your information all the way through and then summarize what you've discovered while citing your source. How will my reader know I have used a source? In parentheses, write the last name or the title of the source you've used and the page number where it can be found. If you use an internet source, write the last name of the webmaster or the web page title, and you can see my example below. According to the dictionary, plagiarism is stealing, and I found this information in Merriam-Webster on page 733. What about common knowledge? If a fact is common knowledge, a fact that most people know, it is not necessary to cite a source. For example, it is common knowledge that William Shakespeare wrote the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. It is not common knowledge that William Shakespeare joined the Lord Chamberlain's men in 1594. Now for all of you Quiz Bowl students, yes, you may know this, but not everyone does. And in order to prove your research and prove your fact, you would need to look it up again and research it. That's why it's called research, to show a reputable source where this fact is stated. What should I take note of when doing research? You should always take notes for the following. Write down the book or web page title, the edition or volume number, the author or editor, the publisher or webmaster, the city and state where your source was published, the date it was published or updated, and then the date you visited the source or read the text. And below you'll see my work cited for the PowerPoint project that you just watched. And I hope this helps you to understand the concept of plagiarism when you conduct your own research.